I was scrolling Pinterest and I saw this and this inspo. One is from H&M. It's a collection they dropped just a few weeks ago, and the other is from All Is Gentle, and it's from the runway look. I started by gathering my supplies, which was heading over to the thrift store and getting something with a similar fabric. This dress from Banana Republic, which if I was a corporate woman, I would for sure wear this, maybe a little bit shorter. I had to get some beads because it's bedazzled, as was the reference from H&M. Now they did black beads, but I kind of felt like doing my own things. I got these silver beads in a bunch of different sizes from Amazon. But let's save these beads for later, because that's gonna be a long later, and start working on the shape. The set stopped me dead in my tracks, and I thought, okay, I think I can make this. So we need a top and a bottom, which is the first thing I need to do. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling a lot about what I'm gonna do. Why don't we get started by cutting some things up? First thing that I'm gonna do is measure out just where I'm gonna cut this dress in half. So when I look at my inspo photo, it looks like it's kind of below the belly button range, but I'd rather go longer first and then work my way up to the right height and cut it too short to start with. So I feel like when I'm looking at it, this is like right under my belly button. So I'm just gonna pin it kind of along there. There is a zipper in the back, which I think I'm just gonna cut through and then kind of stitch up the bottom to ensure that it doesn't like break the zipper function in the back. So yeah, let's start there. There's a few other things I want to do before I put this back on the mannequin and really start shaping out where I'm going to sew. The first is there's this kind of divide between the front and the back in a kind of triangular pattern, and I'm going to cut or seam rip those out because it's going to give me more space to create that U shape in the front. And then the sleeves are kind of this tapered sleeve style where it's longer at the top and then kind of tapers in under your armpit. So I'm just gonna cut that shape as well, just so I can cuff the seams so that I can sew it later. So yeah, let's get started with that. This is what you're gonna need. It's called a seam ripper and it helps you, well, it's pretty obvious. Well, that was so tedious, but here is this little shape cut out, which has the front looking like this. Now it's more of a bow neckline without this kind of piece here. All right, now onto this side. Both of these are done, thank goodness. Oops. Okay, onto the sleeve. Okay, for this sleeve, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, so I'm gonna definitely cut with a lot of extra seam allowance, and then can work it down, because once you cut, you can't go back. And I'm not risking it. Perfect. And then we're just gonna do the same to this sleeve. Just put this one on top to keep things semi the same. Okay, sleeves are cut, length is cut. Now I'm gonna put this aside. Ah, jump scare. I know we're looking a little bit like a mess. I wanna remove the top situation for a second and work on this skirt first. Then we can come back to this. I think I need some pins. Okay, I brought some pins. This is what we have right now. So we have the foundation of a skirt, but it's a little bit huge. So I'm gonna turn it inside out, and then we're gonna grab some elastic and do a little bit of pinning. The deal for the elastic length is that I need it to be tight enough around my waist that it fits properly and stays up, but then can be stretched enough that it can still fit around my hips so that I can take the skirt on and off. I just loosely measured around my waist. So if you're left-handed and you're using right-handed scissors, do you struggle to cut more than, let's say, the average person? Because I do, and I'm trying to blame it on the fact that I'm using right-handed scissors without showing you too much, without revealing too much. Let's just measure out my waist where I want it to sit. Yeah, and then that goes. I actually struggle, I don't understand why. And then people say use the back of the scissors. When I use the back of scissors, nothing. I don't know. That is perfect. Do my pants back up. It's not that kind of channel. My waist measurement is smaller than that of the material that I have, but I don't want the material of the skirt to scrunch up as I'm putting the elastic in, which I feel like inevitably will happen. So I kind of want to see if I do that, what it looks like, and then make a decision on whether I think it makes sense to do an elastic waistband. And then I'm just gonna take my skirt fabric and pin it over the top how I would if I was making a channel for the elastic to fit in. I feel like I can sew the fabric flush to the elastic and potentially get a cinching that's kind of nice and not too crazy. The cinching is looking good. It's not too crazy, which I'm okay with. Eventually what I'm gonna do is flip it over again and sew under the elastic to create a more seamless waistband. But I think I want to sew some shorts into this so it's a skirt. The skirt waistband is exactly where I want it to be. It's enough that I could wear it high, even though it's a little bit loose, but I do want it to be kind of mid-rise to low-rise. I did thrift these kind of stretchy shorts because I wanted to also sew these in, try to find a way to sew this into it as well. But I'm happy so far. What I did was put the shorts in, like I put the right sides together and then I put the shorts into the skirt and measured where the back and the front were, and I'm just gonna sew it in to this waistband. When I flip it over, it'll all become seamless. Update of what I did, and I had to do half of it because it was too complicated to show. But basically the bottom of the skirt had a hem that was already like pleated and sewn. So I just cut it off and sewed it on the one side to clean up the seam on the inside. So as you can see now, that's nice and clean. And then I'm just gonna fold it over and then fold and sew to create a nice clean cut on the front like this. I think this will look less bulky.
Just keep rubbing your head.
The skirt is done. Heck yeah, I'm stoked about it. Very mini, but haha. I have my built-in shorts, so I don't need to worry about flashing anybody. Wow. Cute. Getting late and dark. So okay, I'll catch you in the morning. Bye. Mwah. Good morning, party people. It's a new day and I need to work on the top of this set today because if I don't start beading this weekend, then I'm gonna lose my mind because this needs to be done. I want to pin everything and cut everything so that I can just head over to the sewing machine and sew it all up in one foul swoop. And to do that, I need to pin, and then I need to try it on to make sure the pins are making sense. Or maybe I need to try it on and then make sure the pins are making sense. I don't really know, but let me run you through the little course of action. I need some more coffee. Oh, how cute is my dress? Well, I'm wearing a top with it, but this dress is from my mom made it. The love I have for that brand, they just don't even know. Them and Luxie Hair, I'm obsessed with both of them. So yeah, let me just drink a few more sips and then show you what I'm doing. This is a bit exaggerated, so we're gonna drastically narrow this down. That's what I'm going for. From the seam line, it's about 4 inches. So let's just pin right at the 4-inch mark. And now what we want to do is let's give ourselves like 2 inches at the bottom, I think. 1 inch for seam allowance and then 1 inch for the actual length that I want. So on the inside seam, I'm just gonna measure 1 and 2. Guys, usually I wing so much more, but now that I'm taping myself, I want to do a good job. So it's forcing me to be more detail oriented. I love it. So let's go, sir, and come back. Hey, my precious people, here is where we're at. I'm so excited. The top all sewn. We have the skirt or skirt all sewn. Now, my first dilemma was, should I cut the scoop neckline? I know I had a vision. Okay, I know I did, but I'm gonna be so for real. One, knowing how much I have to still go to finish this project, part of me just wants to wrap this part up. Do you know what I mean? We just want to be done with her. I actually think I kind of like this neckline better, only because here's a few reasons. One, although the scoop neck is cute, it's trendy, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just wondering if this has a more timeless style to it that I'll be likely to wear for years to come. I just know that that kind of scoop neckline, and I swear this is not me making excuses to not do it, because it really just it wouldn't be like too hard to do. I'm just thinking like that scoop neckline. I love low cut tops. Are you getting tired of me doing this? Okay. I love the low cut top vibe. However, being a girly being me, why am I like so roundabout just talking? Like, just get to the freaking point, girl. It'd be really annoying. And then that's gonna make me not want to wear it, because I just know that movement wise, it's gonna really bother me. I'm just thinking about myself. And also, this is my sewing project and I decided what I wanted to do. So if I don't want to do a scoop neck, I don't have to. Angie girl, I need someone else to talk to. What else I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start bedazzling from boobs down, because that way, or maybe even just skirt, because that way I have time to think about the top and if I really do want to keep it this way. However, the one thing I will do is the open seams on the top from where I cut those little triangle bits out. I'm just gonna hand sew an invisible stitch so that the seam is seamless again. Interesting. Move on. Let's move on. Let's move ourselves on to this, and then the bedazzle. Just, I like to hear myself talk.
So that's why I'm okay. Oh my god. Thanks. On TV and
Extraordinary moment bestseller.
You might have just seen Cliff's ignore me in my pajamas, but it's a beading day, so I'm allowed to be not dressed up right now. But literally, I spent 2.5, maybe 3 hours last night beading this skirt, which in retrospect is not as long as I thought, but it's definitely a tedious process, and I'm a little bit scared to start the top today, I'm not gonna lie to you. How good is that? I'm stoked. I cannot wait. I feel like it's gonna turn out so good as a set. I did some 2 beads like this. Then I did some big beads with 2 little ones. I did some singular beads. I'm gonna spend the whole rest of today putting little beads on shirts because I need to get this project done. And tomorrow I will show you the final result. Fingers crossed, because I only have tomorrow to finish it. So, okay. Bye, see you soon. It's done. I'm literally, I can't. I'm actually so stoked with how this freaking set turned out. First of all, so happy that I left the boat neckline. Way more me. I feel super comfortable. It's such a classic look, you know, very timeless. And paired with the skirt, it's like the cutest mini dress I've ever had. Oh my God. And let me tell you, bedazzling these beads and jewels on was not an easy feat. I spent, I think, like 5 or 6 hours just hand sewing little bead triads or duos or single beads everywhere. It was worth it though. Always is worth it. Good job, Nina. It's gonna be on the top of my thrift flips because every time I make a new one, it's always on the top. Let me zip it and then give you some details of this outfit. All right? Okay. I'm on to my next thrift flip. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.